Algebra 1A students. This video is the first of your Focus Notes video assignments, and the purpose of this video is to first kind of go over what you can expect from these Focus Notes assignments, to review this particular Focus Notes assignment in full, and then to complete sections 1 through 3. I'll have additional videos that'll go through sections 4, 5, 6, and 7 of this assignment. So essentially, these focus notes are an opportunity for me to model math note taking for you. And there is one focus notes assignment per unit in this class. And my hope is that you will continue to take notes beyond the topics discussed in the assigned focus notes. So this is a modeling of what my expectations are for taking notes, and just what we feel is a really good method of taking notes. Identifying an essential question, looking at an initial question to kind of help you answer that essential question, looking at key vocabulary, coming up with strategies, problem solving, and then circling back to make sure you really understand the material. So that's the essence of these focus notes assignments. It's to encourage you to take notes and to kind of express my belief that in order to be a successful math student, you really need to be taking notes in every single lesson. And most likely you need to be taking extensive notes. Okay. If you were attending school in a brick and mortar classroom, your teacher would likely be expecting you to take notes. And so this is my way of taking those notes and grading them. Okay, so as I said, one of the first things we're going to do is look through the entire assignment, because I really do feel that when you look through the entire assignment first, it'll give you a good feeling of what you're going to be looking for as you're completing the assignment. So I'm going to pop over to the actual assignment, and if you haven't printed it out already, I encourage you to do so. So pause this video and print this out so that as we work through it, you can be completing it while you're watching these videos. Okay, so of course you're going to put your name on it. You're going to watch the video assignment, follow the instructions in each box, and then when you go to submit it, there's more than one way to do this. I would like you to be completing these by hand. I would accept it if you did it digitally. That would be fine, but I think it'll be more effective for you to be taking these notes by hand. I really think that there is a hand-brain connection when you're trying to get this material to stick. So you can take a picture of your work and upload that into a Google Doc and submit the Google Doc. You could scan it into a PDF and submit the PDF. That's probably the most ideal, but I absolutely understand not everybody has a scanner. So there's more than one way to submit this. And then once you've submitted this, the last section here is a summary, and we're going to be asking you to present your summary, your personal summary, either via a Flipgrid video or a post on a discussion, like just a typed post. So I think it'll be kind of a fun way to express your thoughts and see what classmates are thinking. Okay, the essential question for this particular focus notes is, are the rules for rational exponents the same as the rules for integer exponents? Okay. In section 2 here, we are not answering the question. We're just identifying the question. We're putting it in our minds so that as we work through this, we can kind of keep thinking about that question and potential answers. Okay. In section 3, we have an initial question. And that question for this one is, what are the rules for exponents? Again, we're not going to answer this particular question right here. What I do want you to answer is where you can find the information that will help you answer that question. Okay, so we're going to identify sources. And I would like you to identify sources in the course, of course, but you're also welcome to identify outside sources. And I often use Khan Academy and Virtual Nerd and some other YouTube sites that I have vetted and feel like they're good resources for you. Okay. Section 4, we'll be going over our key academic vocabulary. So in this section, I am looking for you to be providing a definition of each of these terms, integer, rational number, and exponent, and then providing a numeric example for each term as well. Okay? For section 5, we are going to look at a couple different expressions, and we are going to not quite solve them yet. We keep building up to that, right? We're not going to solve it yet. We are going to identify the exponent rule that we would use to solve each of these expressions, okay? And then finally, we're going to get to the actual solving. And the key thing here is that we really need to show our work, all right? So I will be doing different problems than you. But they'll be similar, so they'll hopefully really guide you in solving your problems, okay? And then we're going to kind of push and expand our boundaries just a little bit and solve a couple more problems that involve a different rule for exponents. And maybe this will enlighten our answer to the essential question a little bit. When we've done all this, or even in the process of doing it, we're going to practice some metacognitive reflection, which means thinking about our thinking. And so we're going to look at this work and we're going to say, oh, this really makes sense, or I feel good about this. This is something I'm super comfortable with, or, oh, I have a little bit of confusion here. Maybe I need to do a little bit more research and write some more things down to remind myself how to tackle this particular rule of exponents, or whatever it is, okay? Or, oh, this is the answer that I'm actually looking for to solve the essential question. Okay, and then last but not least, once we've done all that, we will circle back to the essential question. We'll answer it, okay? So based on the work above, do you feel that the rules for integer exponents are the same as the rules for rational exponents? Why or why not? And then we will answer how this could be applied, how this knowledge can be applied in solving future problems involving exponents, okay? So this is that summary piece that we're going to kind of take to the next assignment. So it's really important that we do a nice job on it. Okay, from here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to work on this first slide. It's sections 1, 2, and 3. So please, again, make sure you have your focus notes assignment printed out so you can go ahead and work on it. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna put my name on it. Whoa, that's very thick. All right, and it seems silly that I take the time to do this, but often if you're not really engaged and ready to start an assignment, simply writing one thing down, like your own name, can spur that motivation and engagement. So I always take the time to do it. It's kind of like making my bed in the morning. I get something done first thing in the day. Okay, so we have already gone through those directions. I think you should feel really good about it. I've already mentioned this particular essential question twice. Are the rules for rational exponents the same as the rules for integer exponents? We don't need to write anything there. We just have to read that question. Okay, and now we're going to look for the sources that we can use to answer our initial question, which is, what are the rules for exponents? Okay, so I'm going to pop into the course. And let's see, I'm going to actually go right to the home page. Okay, recognize this. I'm on the home page. I'm going to scroll down, and I can see that in lesson 1, I've got properties of exponents, part 1, and properties of exponents, part 2. Okay. I've got some properties here in lesson 2, but it's more about radicals, which have an inverse relationship with exponents, so that it's something to keep in mind. But for answering this particular question, it looks like properties of rational exponents, part 1 and part 2, might be more enlightening. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind, if you are in the alternative Algebra 1, I think your lessons are the same for Unit 1, but they start to differ a little bit. So we're going to be writing the name of the workbook that things are in, not necessarily the number, because I just want to recognize that the alternative math classes might have slightly different numbers. So remind yourself of what these are by looking at the actual name. Okay, so we're going to say Algebra 1A Strong Mind course, and then it's going to be properties of exponents, parts 1 and 2, and then same thing, properties of rational exponents, parts 1 and 2. Okay? And then when you click into those, I hope that you do recognize that I have put a lot of outside resources here. You do not need to look at all of them. Like, you just definitely don't need to look at them unless you are needing additional help, unless you weren't getting things from the actual course, okay? But if you're not getting it from the course and you still need additional help, these are great resources that I've already vetted and I feel like will be really, really useful for you. So I do encourage you to acknowledge any of these videos that you have found helpful as sources on this sheet. So you might put virtual nerd, properties of exponents, and Khan Academy, properties of exponents. Okay, or anything else that you personally use. I'm always looking for new resources, so if there's something out there that you use, you might actually be teaching me something. Okay, that is it for this first slide, parts 1, 2, and 3. I will be back for part 4.